It's really funny. I find it hilarious that most fitness coaches understand this concept when it comes to not quick fixing themselves. And then they preach that, but they go and do this inside a business. They go and flip this around and they go, okay, how do I make money tomorrow? It's kind of like the guy that's 40 pounds overweight going, how do I get abs tomorrow? I'm going to share something with you. That I think is going to profoundly change the way you coach, consult, mentor, and bring on clients, and why I don't believe in quick ads, quick funnels when you're working with clients. I want you to understand right now that I live by a principle in terms of I'm not trying to optimize and maximize money and revenue. And you might be thinking, well, Lynn, that's a little bit silly. I want to maximize money and revenue. And I go, cool. You'll start to maximize money and revenue, but you're going to sacrifice the lifestyle. And what I mean by that is, even if you make $100,000 a month, but you're constantly stressed out, you're constantly burnt out, you're constantly inside of the business, worried, you're in customer support all the time, you have ass clients that you hate, that keep asking stupid questions that you don't want to answer, that they're lazy, and you have clients that take on this idea that you're their savior and that you can save them, and that because they paid you money, you should save them. But now you're in this weird dichotomy where you're not sure what to do, because at the same time you want to kick them out, but at the same time you don't want to refund them money because you've poured blood, sweat, and tears to them. And this is why you shouldn't optimize for the quick cash. This is why you should actually stay away from the quick cash, because understand the first principle is that the quality of your life right now is dictated by the quality of your relationships. Like, I sat there and I heard this quote. I think it was Tony Robbins. He said it 3 or 4 years ago. It flew by my thick head. And it wasn't until I started to understand this principle a little bit more. What does this mean? I'm like, well, if my whole family disappears, if every single client of mine disappears, if my friends, my family disappear, and I'm sitting here on this planet just with this camera talking to nobody, then life in itself becomes meaningless. That is the only thing that makes life fulfilling, are the relationships that we have around it, the journey that I get to go on with Kerry, my clients, you, Ocean, the people that we come, the things that we get to build, the energy. And so if you want to have a shitty life, you have shitty relationships. And this starts out with your friends, this starts out with your family, this starts out with the peers around you. This starts out with people from your past who you need to let go of, who are vampires, and they no longer align values because you've decided, I'm going to do something, and I'm going to take a stand for something, and I'm going to risk take something, and I'm going to learn how to take ownership, because that's the only way that I can grow from this, is if I learn to take responsibility, ownership, and I understand that I'm a human being that is capable of increasing my skill sets and mindsets every single day. And when you take on the responsibility of building a business that has impact, well, there's going to be a lot of people that you're going to separate yourself from, because they're like, hey, Lynn, this isn't for me. I just want an easy life. And I go, consider that the easy life that you want right now will come back to haunt you later on, 10 years down the track, when you sit there filled with regret. I don't know. I know that that's what I would be, and that's what happened to me. And so I'm going to live my life. And if that's the way you want to live your life, fantastic. And so the quality of your business comes down to the relationship that you have. And far too often, there's too many people selling this idea. You can make money really quickly. You can sign up a $10,000 client tomorrow. It's kind of like the fitness coach that tells you can get abs in like 2 weeks. And here's what happens. It's really funny. I find it hilarious that most fitness coaches understand this concept when it comes to not quick fixing themselves. And then they preach that, but they go and do this inside a business. They go and flip this around and they go, okay, how do I make money tomorrow? It's kind of like the guy that's 40 pounds overweight going, how do I get abs tomorrow? And he's desperately trying to get abs. So he's desperately trying to do things. And it's like, holy shit, we don't actually see this. We become hypocrites in the fact of what we teach versus what we actually do. And so I'm going to fast track something for you. After working with 400 clients or so over the last 18 months, I took a break, like 2000 March all the way through to now. Was a break, like 1%. I said, I'm not taking on any more clients. Pandemic's coming in. I'm not taking on any more online clients. Why? Because the desperation for more people wanting to start an online business to make money was there. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm playing this game. I'm going to go and do what I want to do. And inside of that time, we launched Modern Man. I also helped my wife launch Modern Mama. We have Modern Parents together, which is really cool. And then now we've kind of rebranded ourselves to Category King, which has been one of the most amazing things that I've done. But inside of that, I need to take a step back, because there's one thing for you to want to get clients tomorrow. And yes, you need to feed yourself. Yes, you need to survive. So do the things that is required of you to survive. But if you're here watching this and your goal is to get as many clients as quickly as possible, you're going to burn out. Because at some level, you're going to allow relationships. Your target is optimized for number of clients as quickly as possible because I want to get the instant gratification of, sweet, I'm moving, I'm getting momentum. And at the same time, what you're allowing relationships that you're not filtering into your world. And if you don't filter these relationships into your world, they actually bring you down. And so you might have 5 clients, you might be like fist pump. You might get to 20 clients, you might be like, okay, cool, I'm starting to feel it. You get to 50 clients, okay, it's a different story. You get to 100, that's like shit. You're now dealing with 100 people coming in to chase a result that you promised them quickly before they actually understood the frame of your game. And what does that mean, the frame of your game? How you operate? What are your principles? Who are you as a leader? What values do you stand for? What's your message? What do you believe in? What are you willing to take? What aren't you willing to take? And here's where it becomes difficult, because here is where you get to draw a line in the sand. If you allow your prospects to sit inside of your message, buy your cheaper courses, follow you for years before they decide to do work with you. One of the greatest clients that I've had the experience has been following me for years. We've worked together for years. The worst clients that I've had have generally come in from seeing an ad. They come in, they see an ad. This is not, there are exceptions to the rule. The worst clients that you can have are the ads, the guys that see the clients, sign up because they're desperate, they want a quick result, and then they don't know how to take ownership because they don't understand your morals, they don't understand your principles, they don't understand your values, they don't understand your messaging, they don't know who you are as a leader, and so it becomes a little bit sticky. So here's the deal. The first part to any of this, before my camera explodes on this hot day in Melbourne, before any of this begins, you got to understand, what do you stand for? What are your principles? Who are you as a leader? What are you going to tolerate? What won't you tolerate? Make that clear. Not clear when they begin to work with you. Make that clear inside of your marketing. Like, I know as soon as I put this message out here, as soon as I put out my values, as soon as I stick up for what I stand for, what I don't like, there are going to be some of you that watch this and go, F you, Lin. I just don't like you. Who do you think you are anyway? How narcissistic of you. How arrogant of you. And I go, brilliant. If that's your story about me, no problem. I understand. I've got stories of other people. What I started to recognize was those stories were just mirror projections of myself. If that's a story that you have, then that's okay. That just repels you. That just means we don't date. And if we don't date, then our lives can actually be happy. You'll live a happier life. I'll live a happier life. And ultimately, what I do see that's currently inside of my worldview, currently inside of my tiny little worldview, becomes positive to me. At the same time, there are some of you that will listen to this message and go, Lin, I like you. I like what you stand for. I like your principles. I like your morals. I like how you operate. How can we work together? And so already by that, you understand how I'm going to operate, what my principles are, what I tolerate, what I don't tolerate, and you know how to actually play the game so that both of us can win inside the relationship. This goes beyond any form of just marketing, advertising. This goes on to filter out any relationship that you have, whether it's your partner, whether it's your friends, whether or not it's your employees. It's going to be very sticky, because if you're looking to hire people and you hire people quickly because you're desperate, and now you become a people pleaser because you don't have the courage to tell your employee the way that what they need to do, set the expectations straight, and you feel like you're actually like holding back your triggers and suppressing all your emotions, and now you've just got a relationship and the energy is kind of weird between you and them. Man, life's too short. Life's too fucking short for all this shit. The greatest gift that I had this year was Ocean. She changed my world. She started to make me realize what's actually important, what's not important. What I thought was important is not important. What you currently think is important, it's not as important as you think it is. Until something comes along and changes your world. Here's the deal. I'm going to stop using here's the deal, because I know Joe Biden uses here's the deal. But here's the deal. Right now, in your attempt to get clients quickly, in your attempt to buy into the quick fixes of the magical marketing pills to get more clients quickly, so that you can scratch that itch of yours to go, okay, fantastic, I'm great. I got a client. Well done. But that's not the goal. The goal is not to get the client. The goal is to actually foster meaningful relationships and allow that client to become a raving fan. Don't make getting the client the goal. Actually creating meaningful relationships with people for life and creating raving fans for life should be the goal. And that only begins if you can actually bring the free line a lot closer to the start. The free line meaning, how well do your prospects know you? How well do your prospects stand for you? How well do they know what you stand for, what you stand against? How much do you repel the prospects that aren't a good fit? Because if you're repelling people, you're also attracting people. But at the same time, all of this is hard. Because inside of us, each and every one of us wants to be liked. We want to be liked. It's innate. It's wired in us. Because if you don't want to be liked, you're going to get killed. Back in the tribal days, you're going to get killed. Unless you stood for something and risked everything to go and start your own tribe. So that being said, if you like this, leave a comment down below with your takeaway. You might say, hey, I'm watching the replay. This was good. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. That will help the channel out. And of course, if there's anything that you want to discuss, leave a comment down below. Discuss it. I'll be in and out. This is my focus. This is essentially the message I've been called to serve, to help you get your message out there without having to manipulate, without having to be cheesy, without having to be another clone, but to simply be yourself and to understand that your best self, innovating, creating the best products to solve a problem is the only thing that matters inside a business. That being said, have a phenomenal afternoon or night, day, morning, midday, wherever you're watching this, whatever time you're watching this. And that being said, we'll see you on the next one.